I'd like to express my sincerest thanks to all of you for your work this past year in building and maintaining this foundation we have at SVSU. We have realized many milestones and accomplishments since January of last year, none of which could be possible without the dedicated work of all of you. Because of your ongoing commitment to SVSU and its students, we have again been recognized by the Chronicle of Higher Education as one of the great colleges to work for. A Best for Vets institution because we care and serve our veterans. And our residence halls are amongst the very best in higher education. These are high-level, visible accomplishments that only skim the surface of the type of work done in this past year. In addition, we have continued to make significant strides in community engagement. We are excited to be opening our new downtown Saginaw location. The downtown location will play a major role in implementing service learning courses and community research opportunities in the city of Saginaw. We expect the downtown site to be very active. Our social work program will be the anchor, but we will also have a focus on community engagement and outreach, economic development, continuing education, and of course, recruitment. We look forward to the partnership that will evolve there. The grand opening will be announced in the very near future, and I'm hoping many of you will stop by and take a look at your newest facility. Related to our community engagement, you may have noticed something different about the street signs at Fashion Square Mall. The Saginaw Cardinal logo has been added to hanging lighted street signs around the Cardinal Square district. This logo is the same cardinal used on many banners around Kochville and Saginaw Township. The Cardinal Square district is a collaboration between Saginaw Township, Kochville Township, and SVSU. We thank DDA Director Tyson McKinley and Kochville DDA Chairperson Mr. Lyle Davis for their leadership in making this project a reality. Over the upcoming year, you will see lighted street signs as well as the public art project designed by our students through the Cardinal Square Art Competition. These street signs and public art will help with our branding and continue to create a strong connection between the university and the community we reside in. We look forward to the formal dedication of the Scott L. Carmona College of Business on February 24th, just a couple weeks from now. As you are aware, this has been a long process requiring patience and flexibility by many around the campus. The space and the project have exceeded all expectations. It'll provide state-of-the-art facilities intended for the faculty and students who will soon occupy the space. This new space will empower the business faculty, staff, and students and business leaders to reach professional goals and engage in hands-on learning unique to our university. There are so many people I'd like to thank for the success of this important project. I will save most of those comments and thank yous for the dedication event on the 24th. For now, I'd like to recognize the 340 private donors who contributed to the First of Business campaign, which brought $15.5 million of private contributions to the College of Business. Many of you are in the audience today, and I'd like to thank you for your incredible generosity. The next major campus project would be the renovation of Brown Hall. This plan includes both updating and aging infrastructure and offering the type of high-impact learning environments that we see in the Saginaw Library and in the College of Business. Our faculty and students who teach and learn in Brown Hall will benefit from this improved environment. This project is making its way through the capital outlay process in Lansing, and we'll be sure to keep you all posted on our progress. We also want to protect the unseen infrastructure, and we are undertaking many important cybersecurity projects in the next year to assist with all of this. Cybersecurity remains a high priority for all of us at SVSU. We need everyone's help on this ongoing issue and this ongoing problem. The threat of stolen data and ransomware attacks have serious operational and financial consequences to our university. To counter this, we have committed resources for the multi-factor authentication process. So the 2020 Cybersecurity Awareness Campaign will soon be announced, so please be on the lookout for that. I appreciate your efforts, participation, and complete and total cooperation. Like most higher education institutions across the state and the nation, we continue to meet a predictable set of very serious challenges. Declining numbers of high school graduates, retention challenges, decreases in state funding, changing expectations from prospective and current students, a skeptical audience that is unsure of the value of higher education, and the fear and reality of increasing student debt. Because tuition and fees represent nearly 72% of our university revenue, enrollments and student success are critical to everyone in every job classification on this campus. As enrollments have declined, staffing in all employee groups, administrative professionals, faculty, and support staff have declined as well. 2 years ago, we saw an increase, a significant increase in freshman enrollment. That significant increase allowed us to populate our student dorms at nearly 100% once again. This year, we had a slight decline in freshman enrollment. In our current admission cycle, applications are down by 5%. We are flat in admitted students as of February 1. We are down about 50 orientation reservations compared to this time last year. The significance of orientation reservations is that a very high percentage of all students who apply for and pay for orientation get converted to full-time students and are admitted. The consequences of enrollment decline are obvious, and I'm not here to lecture you on the impact of them today. In the last several years, we've taken a series of steps to improve our recruitment and retention. The marketing campaign, also known as the We campaign, is one of those. We have hired and deployed more recruiters in the field, East, West, North, and South Michigan, to actively recruit for our fine programs. We've restructured financial aid and invested more financial resources in student aid. And we have made a number of process improvements in recruiting and processing prospective students. This is what has been done, but there are plans going forward as well. In 2019, we began a major initiative meant to address the enrollment challenges with our outside enrollment consultant, Carnegie Dartlet. You may remember Dartlet as the organization that led our market research efforts a number of 3-4 years ago. They had kind of identified these colors that depict kind of the values of the institution: supportive, caring, nurturing. This research drove our current marketing campaign. Well, our partnership continues to address university perception, marketing, admissions, and enrollment, something we work on, something we think about every day. They work with us on developing more effective practices in communication, recruiting strategies, and financial aid. These are practical solutions that make our university accessible and responsive to today's university recruit, which is different than university recruits a few years ago and certainly a decade ago. Carnegie Dartlet also advises us on developing market-driven programs to ensure that we offer competitive and modern curriculum. Our colleges have been working on this for several years and have developed a number of new programs. The Psychiatric Nurse Practitioner Postgraduate Certificate Program, the undergraduate degrees in General Studies, Public Health, and others, graduate degrees in Social Work and Public Health, and several other additional programs are now offered in online formats. Carnegie Dartlet will provide research to guide programming that will reach new students in new markets. New markets include non-traditional learners, adults who have started their college degree but have not yet completed it. Academic Affairs is coordinating an effort to identify those individuals so that we can reach out to them and help them devise strategies to complete their coursework and graduate. Carnegie Dartlet is also assisting us with the development of ongoing strategies to ensure we are leveraging our financial aid as effectively as possible. Our second collaboration focuses on student success through the Higher Learning Commission's Student Success Academy. This partnership will ensure that we have effective strategies and first-rate programs, both academically and co-curricular, to maximize student success. This partnership will ensure that we have effective strategies and first-rate programs to accomplish this goal. Other institutions across the country have made a cross-campus efforts towards student success, and it has paid off in many of those cases. I believe this effort towards student success will do the same for us at SVSU. The most common measure and point of conversation around student success is retention and graduation numbers. This is an important aspect of student success in which we all need to play a significant role. But student success is more than maintaining retention and graduation numbers. Student success, broadly defined, deals with student learning, engagement on and off the university campus, satisfaction with their educational experience, goal attainment, and ultimately employability. Just this week, I ran into a young woman at Starbucks, and she has 4 drinks in a holder. Proceeded to tell me that she was buying this coffee for faculty and other mentors that she had during her time at SVSU. She said, "I'm not a current student. I graduated 2 years ago. I'm presently enrolled in medical or dental school in southern Lower Michigan, and I'm in my 2nd year. And I came back for a couple days because I have a little break. I'm going to hang out in my library." She's referring to my library, now she's calling it her library. And she's going to meet with her faculty mentors that did so much for her, and she's going to meet with her friends that she developed when she was a student here. She said she was returning to visit those individuals who did so much for her while she was a student here. I saw a happy, enthusiastic graduate. At the time, I didn't know the struggles that she overcame to make it to college and complete her degree here at SVSU. I found out a bit later that the student, Samantha, grew up in a household where family members struggled with substance abuse and a combination of mental health issues. In her words, in Samantha's words, "Most students are nervous about moving away and being on their own. I was relieved to be on my own at SVSU." Samantha's mentors here supported her. They encouraged her to seek help and to repair broken relationships. They challenged her to push herself academically. Samantha was accepted into dental school, and she's thriving there. She can't wait until she graduates to begin her dental practice so she can start a scholarship for SVSU students who have limited resources. So what the faculty and staff did for this one student is student success. There are many cardinals who have graduated from SVSU that can share similar stories. I've heard a lot of them, good stories about the kind deeds, motivation, and spirit that so many of you in every occupation on this campus have provided these students during the time they're here. You know, we've got great students that work in dining services, and so many of the visitors to SVSU think our dining services staff and not students at SVSU. People typically are shocked when I tell them that the people that are serving them are SVSU students. Leanne and I host a lot of events at the President's House for hundreds of people, thousands of people a year. And we have the same students working under the supervision of Renee Zumberg every year. They're like family. They show up an hour and a half before you do. They lay out all the food, all the beverages. They do everything. And then when you walk in the door, they take your coat. They greet you with dignity, treat you with respect, and provide you with an extraordinarily high level of service. We had 5 dinners at the President's House at SVSU for the fundraising campaign for the Carmona School of Business. And I can tell you that the response, the positive response to that campaign, I attribute in part to the high level of service and human interaction from these students who waited on and served these potential donors. So the impact that the managers and supervisors for these students that provide this service to us has a remarkable impact on their growth and development as students. See, these people that are serving you aren't studying service. They're not in service occupations. I know all these kids. They're in engineering. They're in nursing. They're in elementary education, secondary education. They're in mathematics. They're in every discipline on this campus. And the service they provide us and the work that they do is to help facilitate their movement through their college experience. And they are tremendous ambassadors for this university. There are many other students who learn and work at SVSU. I must say that the athletes we have are encouraged and mentored by their coaches that spend as much time talking to these young people about discipline in their athletic programs as they do spending time with them on the courts or the fields developing their athletic skills. There's so many of these coaches that are so committed to these students being successful academically. It's as important to them as for them to be successful athletically. Students who work in all types of offices around this campus. They work in the mailroom, print shop, grounds, writer center, and they learn some very important lessons from their supervisory mentors. They learn how to get to work on time and why it's important to get to work on time. Can you imagine working in the writer center where they have hundreds and hundreds of athletic competitions and you have all this pregame setup and the people that are responsible for pregame setup happen to be our students? What if they didn't show up on time? Ever try to start a basketball game a half hour late? Not a good thing. But they start on time and they're executed on time because we have professional staff who have trained and mentored our students who provide a lot of the work at these events. They also talk about things like reliability, how important it is to be reliable. how important it is to get along with other people working within a group. And I noticed, and I've experienced this, that so many of these mentors teach these young people how to show some appreciation and to be kind to others, because the very people they work for demonstrate these attributes on their interactions with these students on a daily basis. So student success, I'm trying to get around to the point, is already happening in all kind of ways on this campus. But we need more. We need more of it because it's important. Motivating and helping students to be successful should be everybody's priority. That includes improving the pass rates in difficult courses without lowering your standards, and by offering high-quality programs that students and the market are demanding. We need to be aware of course delivery desires and needs of our student body and assure students that they will have access to courses when they need them so they can graduate in a timely fashion. Apart from students, parents are very demanding these days. They want to know what our graduates from our programs are doing. They want to know what the employment rates are for our graduates in specific programs, what the starting salaries are. More importantly, they want to know, what do the employers think about our graduates? How do they perform? Because their performance in the workplace is indicative of the overall quality of their educational experience. Employer satisfaction is something that we hear about on a regular basis, and we have the responsibility as a regional university to supply our talent to our region and ensure that it's first class. Now, I'd really like to have you take a look at this video, and I think you'll see some evidence here of the tremendous job that many of our programs do in producing well-educated professionals for the workforce.
We find the students at Saginaw Valley, they come out already with those 3 C's: competence, connection, and character. They come out with a great foundation of education. They come out with the understanding of the importance of people in industry today and how important character is, which is a fundamental value of the university that coincides and complements what Garber's all about. So every year we hire more and more Saginaw Valley graduates, and they're a big part of the future of our organization.
So when you impact a student's college experience, it carries forward to all the organizations and industries that these students will touch after graduation. Dick Garber talks about how students from SVSU align with the core values of his organization. You impact your community and how we do our job. You have a critical role in ensuring every student on our campus has experiences like those I've described. These experiences and this mentorship truly does make a difference. So with the assistance of mentors from the Higher Learning Commission Student Success Academy, we will create a campus-wide culture of student success, just to add on to what we currently have in place. The initial phase of Student Success Academy will inventory our existing student success programs and consider university policies that either help or hinder student success. And soon, this afternoon, you will be invited to attend these student success forums. The slide behind me shows the dates of these forums. The open forums will provide space to have an honest dialogue about the compelling issues of the day and share the great work that happens here on a daily basis, but even more importantly, to discover how we can do better, because we have to do better. It's an imperative. So your participation is essential in this university-wide initiative. Student success does not happen in just one department, and it's not the responsibility of one person in one department. We need everybody to show up and make an investment in our students. We should be very proud of much of what goes on at SVSU. I know that I certainly am. You know, we've got a student body that this year raised over $20,000 in the Battle of the Valleys for the Rock Center for Youth Development. And you know what? They didn't have a competitor. You know what motivated these students? The Rock Center needed their assistance. They're committed to the mission of the Rock Center. They're committed to philanthropy, and they invested their time and their energy because they thought that was important to this community, and certainly it's important to their own growth and development. Our 2-2 program last weekend, many of you participated in that, a fundraising campaign over a couple days over the weekend, raised $75,000. You know, we had 1,100 donors to raise money for athletic programs and scholarship programs. Our nursing simulation lab was nationally accredited in early December of 2019 by the Society for Simulation and Healthcare. Our theater department and moot court compete on a national level each and every year against the most prestigious universities in the country. And they beat them. Highly competitive, well coached, mentored by multiple faculty members who engage community experts and resources to help their growth and development. And I'm enormously proud of their accomplishments. We also do ecological research across this whole region, which is very important. And more than 90 students were named to the GLIAC All-American teams following the fall 19 sports season. This speaks to the academic abilities of our athletes who time and again balance schoolwork and an athletic career and produce very successful results on both ends. 99% of our College of Education graduates find teaching jobs. And our students are now serve a very critical role in answering the statewide teacher shortage that we have. 89%, this is an important number, 89% of our alumni said they'd come back to SVSU if they had the chance. These are all very good things, and now it's time for us collectively to ramp it up a little bit, move it up just a notch here. This process is going to take a little time and a little effort and a little diligence on our part, but it's doable. We're not in the tank. We're trying to maintain and move ahead. Nothing will happen overnight, but doing nothing is not going to improve anything, and doing nothing is not an option. The path forward, this is the path forward, and it's promising because we have a tremendous foundation here. Ahead of the Student Success Open Forums and reflecting on the stories I shared with you today, keep in mind, I would like you to ask yourselves each day, how can I help our students reach their goals and solve their problems, no matter what it takes? We look at SVSU in February of 2021, we should see a university that's stronger than it is today, more helpful to students and colleagues alike. Show how you'll make SVSU the first choice for all students, including traditional students, transfer students, international students, adult learners, and of course, first-generation students. What policies are you willing to challenge that might inhibit the ability for us to help our students? What can you do to make your program stand out among similar programs across this state? How can you help students navigate the complexities of our curriculum, our financial aid system, complex social adjustments, and health and well-being? we have an opportunity to make a difference in the future of SVSU. To close, I would like to once again thank you for your commitment to SVSU and to higher education. This profession does not provide ease and in these days, certainty. But I think we can all agree that the outcomes that we're experiencing are and continue to be rewarding. They certainly have been for me for a long time. So I think we're a great college to work for. I'm convinced of that. Because we've spent nearly 60 years working together to create a positive environment for our students and for ourselves. We aim to make improvements. Remember, they were all part of the same team, working towards the same goal. Student success has to be an institutional commitment, and it has to be successful. We all know that we need to do, so let's just get out there and do it, each and every one of us. And it's okay with me if you have a little bit of fun along the way. So we owe this to our students and to ourselves. Thank you for your time today.